Hi everyone! So today I'm here to share with you my TBR for a readathon that is happening here this weekend in just a few days, called the 24 and 48 hour readathon. I will leave the link down below for all details of signing, or if you want to sign up for it. But basically it's a readathon in which the challenge goal is to try to read for a full 24 hours within a 48-hour period. And this is active reading. This, doesn't include naps or taking a shower or anything, unless, well, I guess if you had audiobook running or you're taking a shower, you could hear it, that's fine. But if it's any format, audio, ebooks, physical, children's books, graphic novels, whatever you want is perfectly fine. But you have to be reading during this time period for it to count. So you can keep track on like a spreadsheet, or you can keep track with a stopwatch, or how you want to do it, stop and go, how you want to do it to keep track of your times. That within that 48-hour period you have totaled 24 hours or more of reading is the challenge. Now, if you cannot do that, please feel free to still join. We still like to have others. There are years I joined in the past where I knew I wasn't going to get there. I know plenty of others that do. Even if all you can do is do 30 minutes or an hour over the weekend via just one setting or a couple sprints, whatever you want to do, please still, pop in, join us on social media and talk to us. Share what you're reading. It's still a lot of fun. There's no pressures. That is the challenge, but some people join knowing they won't make it. Life happens. People have to work. People have kids. People have other plans for the weekend. It happens. So just join as much as you can and still have fun with it. I will be trying for the full 24 hours, but how well that's going to go, I don't know. We got a lot going on in my personal life right now while I'm off from work. We have a big kitchen remodel that's happening. You might actually be hearing some noises through this video even. I do apologize. My husband is literally doing the kitchen now as we speak, on completely tearing up our floor, and we're going to be redoing that. So that is happening. Also, we just literally started this yesterday, and it's going to be going on for the next 7 to 10 days. So it's going to be right in the middle of all this. I have no kitchen. So we'll see how this readathon goes. We're, definitely planning on, I guess, a more of a munchy weekend, so it makes reading easy to eat and do it that way. But how that's going to go for interruptions-wise, I don't know. So we'll find out. That's going to be different and exciting, but I'm really excited for how we're doing with our kitchen. So fun little personal information. Anyway, so I'm going to show you, I have one ebook to share with you that I'm looking at hopefully starting, and that is Eventown by Corey Ann Hayden, or Haiti. And it's on my Kindle here. It was an arc I got that I haven't gotten to yet, and I think I'm a little behind, so I better get to that before the month is out. So that'll be probably like my nighttime reading when I'm in bed and such. We'll see how much of it I read. My main priority is actually what I'm reading now. I'm hoping to have it finished soon. If I get it done before the readathon, great. If not, I'll be continuing it during that. And that is We Have Always Lived in the Castle by Shirley Jackson here. Like I said, I'm partway through it now. So we'll see how far I get. No pretty cover on this. Sorry, it's a library book, and it's an older edition, and they don't have the jacket anymore. So that one's that. So we'll see how I go for that. I might actually even be starting Eventown sooner, but I doubt it. So we'll see. Oddly enough, I don't have any audiobooks, which is probably not always the smartest thing, because again, that can count for your time. But I don't have one as of now. I might try to grab one, but right now, because we're going to have so much noise happening already this weekend, I don't know if that's really going to be something I can hear and enjoy. Not to mention my husband really doesn't like audiobooks. They're not my favorite format either, so probably not going to happen. Which is probably going to put a little more me being tired by the end of the weekend from just reading so much visually. But I actually prefer that, so that's what I'm doing. So I'm trying to give you these books, at least in my physical stacks, approximately in order here of what my reading order is going to be. Eventown will probably be intermixed throughout my reading, especially at night, and so I'm not disturbing with the lights on and stuff. But this one is the one I'm most excited to get to. So that's why I want to get the first book done. And that is The Lady's Guide to Petticoats and Piracy by Mackenzie Lee here. I actually have this on my Kindle as well, so if I need to, I could bounce back and forth, which is, again, might affect Eventown, or I might start this sooner, I don't know. But this is one I'm really excited to read. I love the first book, Gentleman's Guide to Vice and Virtue. I absolutely adored it, and I'm so eager to read the sequel here. But it is a decent-sized book. I mean, this is why I said I have a lot of big books for this. I'm a little intimidated. This is $4.50. This isn't too bad, but it can seem larger, especially after you see the others here, for a readathon in which you're trying to, read as much as you can in a select period of time. This next one is, well, if it's not the biggest, it's the second biggest. The other one's a graphic novel, so I'm not too worried about the competition. And that is Stephen King's It. This is huge. I've been wanting to read this. My husband's wanting me to read this for quite a while, so I don't know if I want to finish it or even start it, but that is on the higher end of what I want to get to. Yeah, this one's, 1,138 pages long. So we will see on that one, but I do want to start that. I've been wanting to read it for a long time, and I was told that once I start this, I really won't want to stop reading it, so we'll find out how that goes. After that, this is actually another book I've already started. I'm just not in a super huge hurry to want to continue it. It's not that I'm not enjoying it, it's a mood thing, honestly. And that is Cassandra Clare's Clockwork Angel. I'm about a third to a quarter of the way through right now. I am enjoying it. I like the Mortal Instruments series a lot, so please do not misunderstand my not reading this. It's just the time era and the mood I don't know, it's just not fitting with me right now for some reason. And which is funny because I say time era and I'm going to turn around and read The Lady's Guide to Petticoats and Piracy. But we'll see. I don't know. It's just not fitting for some reason. So I want to get to it. So if I get through those, I definitely want to get into this, at least get somewhere with it. Because I do want to still try to finish it by the end of January. So those are probably my primary reads, are the ones I've already shown you. Now we're going into if I can get to them, or if the mood strikes me. I'm a mood reader, so I may skip all this and just jump to one of these. Don't get me wrong. It can happen and has happened in the past. The next one is A Court of Frost and Starlight, and this is by Sarah J. Maas. I have loved the first 3 books of the series, and they wrapped those up nicely, and honestly, I didn't know there was going to be more when I first read those, and then this is a little in-between novella between books 3 and book 4, which is coming out, I believe, next year, I think. I don't know if it's coming out this year, I don't think it is, but regardless, I will patiently wait. I'm happy right now, but loved the series, loved the characters, and this is going to be a nice little fast read just to jump into and get through. After that is another shorter read I want to do. These were chosen by, when I did my TBR for January, are some of these books that I have not gotten to. If I have another video for that, if you want to see it, where you can literally dice chose my fate of what I'm reading. But this one's one of the shorter books that it chose for me, which is The Stranger She Knew by Gail Wilson. This is just an old romance, just something quick, lighthearted that I've had on my shelf to try to check out. This lady is basically, her husband disappeared and left her alone with her kids, and this guy shows up years later who looks like her husband, but she questions whether he is, and it's a whole secret identity situation going on. So curious to see where that's going to go. Just something quick and just to change up the pace. This next book is one I started years ago and didn't get to finish it. Really enjoyed it and wanted to get back into it. And the series was a very intimidating series, both based off how many books there are in the series and how big each book is, because the first book's actually one of the smaller within it. And that is The Eye of the World by Robert Jordan. It's a good, 814 pages, if it goes all the way to the end, but 800 something pages long. The other books in the series get longer, so, and I think it's 15 or 16 books long, so, I want to delve into this. I've been wanting to get back into it. I was hoping to get going last year and didn't have the chance to, so I want to kick this new year off right and get into this. And again, that was what fate chose for me. After that is Ink Death by Cornelia Funk. I've read the first 2 books. Technically, I started this one a couple years ago and I got it from the library and couldn't renew it, didn't get far enough into it before I return it, and put it back on hold, and it was waiting for the longest time, and then I canceled the hold, and just it got put on the back burner, but it's time to get into it again. This is another fate choosing for me, but it is another large book at close to 700 pages. So, again, I have these big books. None of them have been small so far. So, let's get into some smaller books, because just in case, while those so far are probably my higher priorities, I did get a few smaller books to read just to lighten the mood, or if I need a complete change of pace. This is probably the smallest of everything to read, and that here is Winter Road, and that is by Christina Rienzi? I'm not sure how you say that last name, I'm sorry. But this is supposed to be a suspense, and basically this guy who's obsessed with this woman has she's gone away for the winter to go be with her family, and he is literally stalking her all the way to her family home. Which I guess is in a little small town, and there's just gonna be a whole bunch of trouble. Yeah, it says here the cover. Yeah, obsession is so evil it's deadly. So we'll see. Just something really, really short. I think just barely over 100 pages. So that is a definite possibility, just to change things up and to at least say I accomplished something. Of course, it could worse. This one here I grabbed on a whim from the library recently, and that is Burn What Will Burn. And this is by C.B. McKenzie. This just sounded really interesting. It sounds like a bit of a thriller or suspense, where this guy moves to this town, finds a body, but he doesn't really know how to say anything about it. He doesn't, I guess want suspicion or something. And then the body's suddenly gone, and it's just the town's acting just a little on the strange side. So we'll see what I think of that. It just kind of caught my eye and sounded just something good at the time. And I don't know, I guess that's the mood I'm kind of in for it. Just some darker, edgier things. I mean, even town's supposed to be the town is seeming too perfect feel. Just, I don't know, something about that, I don't know why. So, two more books here, and then we'll go into graphic novels of options. The next one here is Dorothy Must Die, Volume 2. I've read the full regular series of Dorothy Must Die, but I've never read all the little stories in between. I've read the first volume. This one here has to do with the tales of the Cowardly Lion and the Scarecrow and the Tin Man, and I think it's supposed to cover like how they went from being what we all know and love in the books and the movie to these crazy, slightly evil, demented things they become in the series Dorothy Must Die. So I'm curious to see what actually happened and transpired that did this to them. This next book here is not something I normally would pick up for myself, but I'm reading it as a recommendation and request from my cousin, and we, going to be working on this and talking about it together. It's actually a nonfiction, and that is The Sparkle Effect by Kirsten Dalton Wolfe here, and it's basically, I guess, supposed to kind of bring out what your inner true beauty, they're saying, and basically, I guess, give you like a sense of empowerment and self-confidence type of feel, what you're doing right or what you could be doing, or loving on yourself, being able to love yourself and being happy with you and bringing that out for the world to see and bringing your personality out better. So we'll see how that goes. It's definitely different from me, but hey, different is good once in a while. So, and I got some nonfiction, which is always good to mix it up once in a while. So now we're into graphic novels. So we're almost done here. This may be the biggest book technically that I have. It might actually surpass it, but just in sheer pages, I don't know. But that is The Walking Dead. This is the compendium. This is volume 3. This is extremely heavy. I know it's over 1,000 pages itself. I don't know exactly at what, but they're probably within like 100 pages of each other, but they're both huge. But this is a graphic novel, so it's much easier to read. Now, I have seen a lot of the show up through season 8. I'm a season behind now, I believe. No, it's on 8, I think. Or was it on? Starting 9. Anyways, I know I haven't quite finished the last season that was airing, so I have to finish catching up. So I'm a little behind. And I've read, obviously, the first 2 compendiums and volumes, and really like it and really enjoy it. I like just... it's very dark and gritty, and I've been enjoying that. I like the drama that unfolds in it. I like the characters. So, excited to get into that one and continue that adventure. Then we got some manga here. Was reading this series, and I love this series, but I never actually finished it. But I now own all the volumes, and I keep wanting to get back into it, and that is Fruits Basket by Natsuki Takeya. And so I have volumes 4 through 7 here, and I actually have the rest if I really get through all these by chance, haha, or if I just really get into a graphic novel mood, so I can always grab the rest, but I just grabbed to put aside 4 for now, so if I want more I have to go dig them out of my library. So this I really like. This is really just a really cute series with a curse that's starting the zodiac in a really fun family. Well, mostly fun. And one of the most adorable girls I've met in manga. So that's been a fun one. And the next one is another series. I actually started the first volume in November for a manga readathon, but never got to finish. I finished the other two, so I have 2 more volumes of this series to read. They're pretty, actually good size for graphic novels, and they refer to it as the Museum of Terror here, but it's also known as Tomi, and that is by Junji Ito. So I have volumes 2 and 3 of that to finish this series if I wanted to. This is a horror manga series. This girl is regularly murdered. These guys become obsessed to kill this girl, but she keeps somehow coming back in other places or in other ways, and so it's kind of weird and creepy, and it's just a very unsettling thing. But there's a connection, but it hasn't quite explained all that just yet. So I'm curious to see where that one goes. The last series of manga I have here is something very just lighthearted and silly and playful, and that is as a manga. I don't know how you say it, Dao, and that is by Kiyohiko Azuma. It's a very simple style of graphic novel here, just very basic paneling. But this one is supposed to just think lighthearted. It's more of a comedy, I guess. And I actually know very little about it, but I do have all 4 volumes, so we'll just jump into that. It was recommended to me of check it out for something fun and lighthearted, and I can use that in my life. But I guess it surrounds this teacher in her classroom, and I guess she's more childish and a little more self-centered than even her students are. And it's just the relationships and the stories that unfold with all of them throughout this. So I'm curious to see where it goes, just for something to lighten the mood, especially since I have a lot of darker books here. So I may need that change of pace. So there's my variety of books. If you are participating in the readathon, please feel free to let me know. I would love just to check out what you're doing and make sure I say hi to you this weekend. And meanwhile, I will talk to you all later. Bye.